As I sit down to recount the events of a trip that took place 2 years ago, I can still feel the chill creeping down my spine. It was a journey that promised adventure but delivered something far more sinister. Join me as I delve into the depths of the unknown, reliving the moments that remain etched in my memory as the most terrifying experience of my life. The sun sank beneath the horizon, casting long shadows that stretched like fingers across the deserted streets of my hometown. It was on this evening, amid the quiet solitude of twilight, that I found myself standing at a crossroads, both figuratively and literally. The weight of the world pressed down upon me, a heavy burden of uncertainty and disillusionment that threatened to crush my spirit. With trembling hands, I retrieved the small square of paper from the depths of my pocket. It was a tiny tab of LSD, its surface shimmering with an iridescent sheen that seemed to pulse with a life of its own. For weeks, I had toyed with the idea of taking the plunge, of venturing into the unknown depths of the psychedelic experience. And now, as I stood on the precipice of possibility, I knew that there was no turning back. With a sense of trepidation mingled with a strange sort of excitement, I placed the tab on my tongue, allowing it to dissolve slowly against the moist warmth of my mouth. Its bitter taste lingered on my tongue, a tangible reminder of the journey that awaited me. The first signs of the drug's influence were subtle, almost imperceptible. It began as a tingling sensation at the base of my skull, a gentle thrumming that seemed to resonate through every fiber of my being. Colors took on a vibrant intensity, pulsating with a rhythmic energy that danced before my eyes like splashes of liquid fire. As the minutes stretched into hours, the effects of the LSD intensified with a ferocity that left me reeling. Reality fractured and splintered, giving way to a dreamscape of shifting shapes and swirling patterns that engulfed me entirely. It was as if the very fabric of the universe was unraveling before my eyes, revealing glimpses of a world beyond the confines of space and time. I stumbled through the deserted streets of my hometown, my senses overwhelmed by the cacophony of sensations that assailed me from all sides. Every sound, every sight, every touch was amplified to a deafening crescendo, drowning out the voice of reason and plunging me headlong into the abyss. As I wandered, the familiar landmarks of my everyday life began to warp and distort, melting into surreal caricatures of their former selves. Buildings swayed and swirled like mirages in the desert heat, while streetlights flickered and danced with an otherworldly glow. It was a landscape of twisted dreams and fractured realities, where the boundaries between the physical and the metaphysical blurred and bled into one another. In the grip of the drug's relentless embrace, I found myself plunged into a realm of darkness and despair, where the shadows of the mind loomed large and the echoes of past traumas reverberated through the corridors of my consciousness. Faces contorted into masks of agony, their eyes vacant and soulless as they beckoned me into the depths of the abyss. Time lost all meaning as I wandered deeper into the labyrinth of my own mind, pursued by unseen horrors that lurked in the darkest recesses of my subconscious. Every thought, every emotion was magnified 1,000-fold, dragging me further into the depths of madness with each passing moment. As I descended further into the abyss, the boundaries between reality and illusion began to blur, until I could no longer distinguish between the two. It was a realm of pure chaos and unbridled madness, where the laws of physics bent and buckled under the weight of my fractured psyche. In this twisted landscape of my own creation, I encountered beings of pure energy and consciousness, entities that existed beyond the confines of time and space. They whispered secrets of the universe into the recesses of my mind, imparting knowledge that transcended human comprehension. Everywhere I turned, I was confronted by reflections of myself, distorted and fragmented into 1,000 different iterations. It was as if I was standing in a hall of mirrors, each reflection a distorted echo of my own consciousness. But these reflections were more than mere illusions. They were manifestations of my deepest fears and insecurities, twisted and warped by the chaotic energies of the psychedelic experience. I was forced to confront aspects of myself that I had long buried beneath layers of denial and repression, facing the demons that lurked within with unflinching resolve. As I delved deeper into the recesses of my own mind, I encountered faces from my past, specters of memory that haunted the corridors of my consciousness. They stared at me with hollow eyes, their mouths twisted into grotesque grimaces of pain and anguish. These were the faces of those I had wronged, the ghosts of my past sins come back to haunt me in the darkest hour of my existence. Their accusations rang out like a chorus of screams, tearing at the very fabric of my sanity and threatening to drag me down into the depths of despair. With every fiber of my being, I fought against the tide of madness that threatened to engulf me, clinging to the fraying threads of my sanity with desperate determination. It was a battle for survival, a struggle to retain a foothold in a world that seemed hell-bent on tearing me apart. But even as I fought, I felt myself slipping further into the abyss, my grip on reality growing ever more tenuous with each passing moment. It was as if I was drowning in a sea of my own fears and insecurities, unable to find solid ground amidst the swirling chaos that surrounded me. Time lost all meaning as I wandered deeper into the labyrinth of my own mind, pursued by unseen horrors that lurked in the darkest recesses of my subconscious. Every thought, every emotion, was magnified 1,000-fold, dragging me further into the depths of madness with each passing moment. I stumbled through corridors of twisted perception, each turn leading me deeper into the heart of darkness that lay at the center of my being. It was a maze of my own creation, a labyrinth of existential dread and psychological torment that seemed to stretch on for eternity. And then, just when I thought I could bear no more, I reached the breaking point, teetering on the brink of oblivion as the darkness threatened to consume me whole. It was as if the weight of the world had come crashing down upon me, crushing me beneath its relentless onslaught. I cried out into the void, a primal scream of anguish and despair that echoed through the empty corridors of my mind. But there was no solace to be found in the darkness, no refuge from the storm that raged within. But even in the depths of despair, a glimmer of light pierced the darkness, guiding me towards a faint glimmer of hope amidst the encroaching shadows. It was a flickering flame of redemption, a beacon of salvation that beckoned me forward with its siren song. With newfound resolve, I embraced the light, allowing it to wash over me like a cleansing tide. It was as if I had been reborn in that moment, emerging from the depths of the abyss with a newfound sense of purpose and clarity. Slowly, agonizingly, the effects of the drug began to wane, releasing me from its vice-like grip and returning me to the cold light of reality. But the scars it left behind would linger long after the last traces had faded, a grim reminder of the fragility of the human psyche in the face of such overwhelming darkness. As I emerged from the depths of that terrifying trip, shaken but alive, I found myself irrevocably changed by the experience. It was a journey of self-discovery and redemption, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. In the days and weeks that followed, I struggled to make sense of the chaos that had engulfed me, seeking solace in the familiarity of the everyday world. But even as I tried to return to some semblance of normalcy, I found myself haunted by the memories of that fateful night, the echoes of the abyss reverberating through the corridors of my mind. It was a journey of profound introspection and self-discovery, a testament to the boundless depths of the human psyche, and though the scars of that fateful night would never fully heal, they served as a reminder of the strength and resilience that lay dormant within us all. In confronting the demons that lurked within, I had gained a newfound appreciation for the fragile beauty of life and the resilience of the human spirit. And though the road ahead was fraught with uncertainty, I walked it with a newfound sense of purpose and determination, ready to face whatever challenges lay in store. With each passing day, the shadows that had once haunted me began to fade, replaced by the warm glow of hope and redemption. It was as if I had emerged from a long, dark night into the bright light of dawn, ready to embrace the new day with open arms. But even as I moved forward, I knew that the memories of that fateful night would always be a part of me, a reminder of the journey I had undertaken and the lessons I had learned along the way. In the weeks that followed, I gradually acclimated myself to the rhythms of everyday life, finding solace in the familiar routines that had once seemed so mundane. It was a slow process, fraught with setbacks and challenges, but with each passing day I felt myself growing stronger and more resilient. But even as I settled back into the rhythms of everyday life, I knew that I would never be the same person I once was. The experience had changed me in ways I could never have imagined, leaving an indelible mark on my soul that would shape the course of my life for years to come. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, I found myself embarking on a new chapter of my life, one filled with hope and possibility. It was as if I had been reborn in the crucible of my own suffering, emerging from the darkness with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. With each passing day, I felt myself growing stronger and more resilient, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead with courage and conviction. It was a journey of self-discovery and redemption, a testament to the boundless depths of the human spirit. For, in the end, it was not the destination that mattered, but the journey itself, a winding road of twists and turns that led me ever onward towards the promise of a brighter tomorrow. And though the path ahead was fraught with uncertainty, I walked it with a newfound sense of purpose and determination, ready to face whatever challenges lay in store. For I knew that no matter how dark the night may seem, there would always be a flicker of light to guide me forward, a beacon of hope amidst the encroaching shadows. And with each step I took, I moved ever closer towards the realization of my true potential, ready to embrace whatever the future may hold. As I looked back on the journey that had brought me to this point, I realized that every trial and tribulation had been a necessary step on the path towards self-discovery and enlightenment. It was a journey of endless possibility, a never-ending cycle of growth and transformation that would continue to unfold for the rest of my days. And though the road ahead would undoubtedly be fraught with challenges and obstacles, I knew that I would face them with courage and conviction, secure in the knowledge that I had the strength and resilience to overcome whatever trials lay in store. For in the end, it was not the destination that mattered, but the journey itself, a winding road of twists and turns that led me ever onward towards the realization of my true potential. And as I embraced the infinite possibilities of the universe, I knew that the journey had only just begun.